Okay, thank you so much, Scott. The online currency Bitcoin has surged in value in recent days, but how far can the currency get you? Could it say maybe buy you a house? Well, Sicklerville, New Jersey resident John Keller is selling his newly renovated home for $260,000. His son, a real estate agent, is doing the bidding through Bitcoin. For those who are unaware, Bitcoin is an online currency that essentially relies on computer coding. John's son Brandon says using Bitcoin cuts out closing costs and cuts down on the time needed for money transfers.
Honest with you, if it did sell, I would probably keep some of the money in the Bitcoin and diversify the proceeds.
Well, some experts warn there are risks with Bitcoins, namely the fact that it's not a regulated form of currency and the value can change significantly from day to day. So we had questions and we need answers. Who do we bring in? Our money guy, Dan Roccato, to explain exactly what Bitcoin is. Look at all those bubbles.
Bitcoin or bubbles? We're not sure exactly what it is just yet, right? So here's the deal. Let's break it down to make it real simple.
Okay.
Because this can make your hair hurt. Your hair hurt, not mine.
Yeah.
It's a cryptocurrency. So it's an unregulated currency, unlike, say, U.S. dollars,
yes,
right, that are regulated by central banks and accepted by, merchants all around the world.
So I can't walk into a TD Bank and say, can I have some Bitcoin?
No.
Okay.
And that's important, Lauren, because there's a lot of scams out there. And one, for example, is going around right now calling folks at home saying, you've won a Bitcoin. Can we have your banking information to send it to you? Well, guess what? Banks can't accept Bitcoins. So you have to be careful. There's a lot of those scams out there. Having said that, this is an exciting and new, millennials love this thing right now, right? So this is an unregulated cryptocurrency. You can look that up, Google it to find out what it's all about. But essentially, it's an unregulated way to make payments to each other.
Let me ask you this question. Sometimes when things are brand new and they're fresh, people want to jump on board because it's going to like blow up later. Is that what we're seeing?
Look at this year. The value of a Bitcoin has gone up by more than 500% this year alone. But here's what we don't always understand. In the last few years, there's been 8 days when the value of a Bitcoin has dropped by more than half. So it's highly volatile, right? So it is a gamble, no question. So if you think of it as an investor, you really don't want to put all of your eggs in this basket for sure. First, make sure you have your emergency savings fund, get your 401k straightened out, get your college savings on track, and then, if you want to fool around with a little bit of your portfolio and have a little bit of fun, go ahead and do it.
So you're basically saying be smart with your money first and then play with the rest of your money.
Keep it real first. And then we can start playing around with things like Bitcoin because it really is a gamble at this point. Right?
Jeez, that's kind of scary. Now, how much, if we were to invest some money, if we have that play money, how much would you say we can invest in that?
I think for most investors, you want to limit your exposure to things like Bitcoin and other speculative instruments to about 5% of your portfolio. If you really have a ton of money, you can go a little bit above that.
Okay.
But let's not soak our life savings, right? Our milk money for next week shouldn't be tied up in Bitcoin. We'll know this thing is real when you can go down to Wawa and pay for your sizzly with a Bitcoin. Right?
And so that will just be like getting on our phone and basically...
Exactly right.
It's so weird to me.
Yeah. It could be the new. We'll see.
I was looking up on my phone earlier, and I didn't have enough time because I wanted to see before you got here. So one share this morning, $1,665.
Yeah. Now, last week, there was one day where there was a 20% plunge. So again, highly volatile. Not something that you want to wrap your life savings around.
How does something like this get started, though? Like, Dan, can you and I be sitting in a coffee shop and say, let's start Bitcoin?
After the show, let's go start a few of these coins. And by the way, there's more than Bitcoin. There's lots of these cryptocurrencies out there.
Why is this one the most popular?
Well, Bitcoin's probably the one that gets the most headline, but there's a bunch of others. So the thing is, again, these are invented by, we can go back to the history, but they're invented by a bunch of programmers, essentially, and there's 21 million available Bitcoins that can be unlocked through these algorithms that these really smart computers and folks are doing.
I feel like this is like a video game. That's what I feel like. I'm like, is this real?
Well, again, we want to keep it real with your daily savings and your 401k plan and everything else. And gamble with a little bit of rest.
Gotcha.